our forests are like the lungs of our environment. I mean, they act to take up pollutants that come down and run off. Not to mention, their native diversity supports all of our insects. If we want to have, like here at Climbers Run, this is an eastern brook trout stream, which makes it really special. And brook trout need cold water. It's the trees that provide the shade, that provide the cold water. And those fish survive, and then they depend on all the aquatic insects that are coming off of those native trees.
Everybody needs food. Everything needs food. Plants generate the food, and some plants are much better at generating than others. So if we take away the good plants and expect all that food to be generated, it's not going to happen. And how many caterpillars does it take to make a clutch of chickadees? And the answer is it takes a lot, and it was these birds that taught me that. One caterpillar every 3 minutes with both the male and the female out there foraging. I watched them for 27 minutes and they brought back 30 caterpillars. How do they do that? By bringing back more than one at a time. Sometimes a whole bunch. I watched them for 3 hours, and during that 3 hours, they brought back 17 species of caterpillars. I'm an entomologist, and I study behavior. I study how insects interact with plants, and have moved heavily into conservation using that knowledge. How can we restore landscapes to increase the ecosystem integrity right at our homes? We have native maples. You get the Plagodes inchworm, the green-striped maple worm, the maple bantam dagger moth. Native elms, this is the American elm, will give you the four-horned sphinx, the double-toothed prominent, interrupted dagger moth, and of course, many others. Remember, 90% of the insects that we need to rebuild the white-eyed vireo's food web will not be there if we don't put the plants that make those insects in our yard. Most people just think of plants as if they're decorations, because that's how we use them. If you go to the nursery, they're all pretty plants, and that's all we talk about is how beautiful they can be. And over the years, people have either forgotten or never been taught that plants do lots of other things. They're supporting our pollinators, they're sequestering carbon, they're managing our watersheds, and we have to use the plants that do them the best. And for our area, it's our native plants.
Today, we are planting a rain garden and doing the landscape at the Boltons.
Before we knew how much water was coming off our roof, we were like, let's try to get some more native plants because make it look more Lancaster, and then we found out how much water was coming off the roof.
Linda and I had different things that were important to us. And I was most interested in keeping the water from going in the city sewer. She really wanted to have the front have more of like an English cottage garden kind of look, but was hoping we could do it with native plants.
It's just under 30,000 gallons that comes off of the entire roof and is draining to the front yard. So we're going to use two green infrastructure applications. One is going to be a rain garden, and the other is going to be an infiltration bed. And then we'll have native plants throughout the entire front bank to act as pollinators, to attract bees, butterflies, and also to feed the local birds throughout the season.
So as long as we just get some rain and we can keep watering it, I can hardly wait to see it.
If you have a small amount of space, plant some native plants.
Which plants? How do you know what they should be? Go to National Wildlife Federation website and put in Native Plant Finder. You can put in your zip code and it'll list the most powerful plants, native plants for you in your county, wherever you are in the country. And I think it's going to work because nature really has proven to be a lot more malleable, a lot more resilient, a lot more forgiving than I ever thought she would be. But I can guarantee she's not endlessly forgiving. There's a point at which she will not bounce back. But I do believe she will give us one more chance.